Now we're going to welcome Anna Bryan.
As long as we're content to live without revival, we will. Leonard Ravenhill said that. And that's something that I really learned through the last 2 years at HITC. Before school, I had big dreams and I wanted to go and to change the world. I always had a big heart for missions and started to be interested in politics and in government and business. And so I wanted to go to the university, get my degree, and take the gospel to the world. But first, I wanted to get a foundation. So I came to HITC to get a biblical foundation. You know, if I'm with a bunch of college students in university later that don't love Jesus, like my college friends do now, I need to know what I believe in, and I need to have an answer. So that was my first reason for coming to HITC, or my biggest reason, was to have an answer for the hope and the faith that lies within me. So I went to school. Year one, I learned that I had a lot of limits on my life. Now, I thought that I, of all people, do not have limits on my life. Like, you know, other people, I remember growing up being like, wow, they don't have any vision for their life, the poor thing. But, like, I was like, you know, I'm going somewhere. I know what I want to do with my life. But little did I know that even though I had big dreams in the future, I had placed all these limits on my present. And God showed me, hello, you got something going on here that's, like, limiting you and keeping you from what I want to do. So through all of our academics and studying, year one was a bit heavier scholastically than this year. And just with the pressure of homework and basic stuff, God showed me that I could do so much more than I thought. And honestly, it was like a confidence boost of like, yay! My strength, my mind, my creativity, my virtue, my emotions, everything was so much stronger than I thought. And so year one really blew off those limits, and I could do a lot more. It was exciting. Then I came into the summer, this last summer, and man, was it exciting. I started out this summer very sad. I didn't realize this, but I had, through the first year, put my confidence in my job and in being busy and having a lot to do, being needed and being responsible, and that was my identity. And so God, knowing that that would hinder me, kindly took that out of my life this summer. And while everyone else had a job, I didn't have a job. While everyone else was needed, I wasn't needed. And I just remember, and you know, it's not like, from the outside, it's not like my life changed that much. I probably still looked fine and around the same friends, but you know, the devil has ways of working in you regardless of how kind and wonderful or horrible your life really is. And so there was just a lot of things that happened in that summer that just beat me down inside. And I just remember feeling like all hell was coming against my life and just questioning the core of a lot of things and being like, oh my word, what is going on? Because, you know, I want to serve God. But then it was like all these thoughts and just I had a huge battle. You see, the devil knew what I didn't know. And he knew that God was going to do something in August in my life that would change me forever. And so little did I know, I'm just, you know, struggling through the summer, trying to keep a smile on my face and trying to keep turning to God. Sometimes it felt like 1,000 times a day, turning back to God. No, I do want to serve God. I do want to please you, Lord. I do want to do what's right. Sometimes the battle is hot, but I want to encourage you, if you're in a hot battle and you feel like everything's going wrong, you're probably this close to breakthrough. Keep going. It's okay. And like, I have a lot to speak from, but from my one summer of a really bad time, it's okay. If you turn to God, then He will provide and He will break through. So, okay, I came to our year 2 orientation and feeling kind of like a hypocrite. So I'm going to Bible college, but I'm still having so much wrestling inside. And God met me there. I just remember putting like my last bit, like, God, I can't do this anymore. I'm like done fighting. I just need you. It's like my last little ounce of strength kind of thing. And God came and literally visited me at that orientation, and He became more real to me than I ever imagined possible and gave me dreams, and He just flooded my mind with His dreams and His vision, and His voice became so clear. And I remember just talking to God all the time, like, it was awesome. So with this fresh crazy, awesome touch from the Lord, and jumped into the first year, or second year, of school, and got to be part of the children's track, and it's so wonderful. I love it. You know, a couple years ago, or a lot of years ago, Violet Kitely prophesied over our family and like different things, but over me, that I was supposed to work with children, and I had done that for a really long time, like 5 or 6 or 7 years, which for me, that's like a third of my life. Like, that's a long time. So I was like, okay, like during this summer, when the devil wanted to just knock me out from what God had for me, I almost gave up, and I was just like, you know what, I'm not passionate about this, I've done it this long, I'm done. And I was so close to doing that, but I didn't. And with this touch from God gave me a passion and a love for kids that I never thought I could have. Like, I love kids so much, and there's been so many times where I'm just playing with the kids in my class, and oh my word, I cannot get enough of them. Or I'm with them in the hallway, and just the whole world stops. And it's like, I have no desire to be with my peers or anybody else. I want to be with these kids. And like, that was not me a year ago, but God has changed my heart and given me love, and He's stirred just revival in my heart for these kids. Like, there have been so many prophetic words over the youth and the children of this house that God is going to bring revival, and He's definitely just put that in my heart. Like, I feel so responsible. Like, oh my word, God's going to bring revival, and I have to make it happen. And obviously, it's not me, but God has given me even just strategies, and we've had a lot of this in our children's chat. God has given us so many strategies and ideas and creativity for how we can be so ready to cater to the move of God, and so ready, just like building up the structure for the rain, and getting so ready. So that's been really fun. And now that school is over, almost, I'm going to go to NNU next fall, and that's really exciting. I'm going to go on to university, and right now I'm looking at going for global business, something along those lines. But, you know, God has taught me so much about being bold and strong. Before, I had like a facade of confidence. It wasn't really grounded, but it was like all bubbly and yeah, like right out of high school. But in the last couple years, through last summer and through what God's taught me this year, I've learned that God is so close, and that, dude, I do not care what the people at NNU think of me. In fact, now I'm thinking about bringing revival to that campus. I don't care what they think. Like, God wants to move, and I need to be ready. And same with like walking around the city and going to wherever I'm going to go, you know, the store or the bank or whatever. I used to be so like just afraid and walking in that fear, man. But now I feel like I own it. And like, you know, Joshua 1, God was telling Joshua that everywhere the sole of your feet tread, I have given you as your inheritance. And that's what I feel like. God has given us this valley. This is where we've staked our claim. This is where God has given us so many words about pouring out revival. So anyway, we own this valley. We need to claim it. I'd say probably the biggest thing I've learned through these 2 years has been that destiny and revival and all these dreams are not just going to chance upon us. They're not just going to plop into our laps, but we have to take hold of them. Revival starts when each of us have personal revival. It doesn't start tomorrow. I'm not content to live without revival. How about you? It starts tonight.